Very good afternoon, my dear students. Now, today I am going to teach you about the sedimentary rocks, and this is the lecture number 5. Before that, I have already discussed about the different introduction portion, classification, and sediment and igneous rocks. All these things I have covered in previous lecture. So now, today we will teach you about the in sedimentary rocks. Myself, Dr. Lakshmikant Tripathi, Assistant Professor, Department of Soil Science and Agriculture Chemistry, Tithankar Mahavir College of Agriculture Science, Tithankar Mahavir University, Uttar Pradesh. So during this lecture, I will try to cover about the sedimentary rocks and then properties of the igneous rocks. This one. And then formation of sedimentary rocks, classification of sedimentary rocks, and then some example of sedimentary rocks. Means all these 4 and 5 topic I will discuss during this lecture. So now come to the sedimentary rocks. Actually, in the first day, I was taught you about the rock cycle. So in that portion, I have already discussed during this time how the rock means sedimentary rocks is forms. Actually, sedimentary rocks is after the cooling actually the molten magma cooling crystallization that form the igneous rocks, and after that there is a different process by the different way the igneous rocks is converted into the sedimentary rocks. For example, weathering, transportation, deposition and cementation. These are the different process which is involved to formation of sedimentary rocks. So here the sedimentary rocks is, if you are see this picture, then you can easily understand what is the sedimentary rocks. So here if you see this, sedimentary rocks is found in the layer form because it is the material is weathered by the different physical and chemical agent, and after that means it is transferred from the one place to another place with the help of water. Here there are different means agencies, they are that agencies, the agent is responsible to transfer the material from the one place to another place, and then the material is deposited, and after that then cemented means converted into the hard nature. So this is the then form the sedimentary rocks. And in the formation of sedimentary rocks there is a chemical and physical both reaction are means both reaction is involved to formation of the sedimentary rocks. Ab here now sedimentary rocks is formed by the consolidation of sediment derived from the breaking down of pre-existing rocks. So here, what is the breaking down of the pre-existing rocks? It means this sedimentary rocks is derived from the previous rocks. What are the previous? Igneous rocks is the previous rocks. So by the means it is derived from the pre-existing rocks, okay, and the sediment material is transported from the new place by the different activities of air, water as well as some other agent is also helps the for the transportation of the material from the one place to another place, and then after that after transportation of that material, then slowly it is deposited and then form the sedimentary rock. So this is about the sedimentary rock. Now come to the properties of sedimentary rocks. So here you can see that actually sedimentary rocks is formed or near on the earth's surface in constant to metamorphic and igneous, which is formed deep with the earth. Actually it is formed by the pre-existing means either maybe igneous, either maybe metamorphic rocks. So what happened in that condition? This rocks is means deposited and then cemented. So that is why it is always found in the layer form. Here you can see this is always found in the layer form. So that's why, so that it is called the stratified rocks. It is called the stratified rocks. Okay, because it is found in the layer. In the first picture you have seen it. Then next is the, these rocks are mostly formed by the water action, so it is called the aqueous rock. Actually this rocks is mostly developed by the action of water, so that is why it is also known as the aqueous rocks, because aqua means water. So that is why the water is the major agent which is helps to formation of sedimentary rocks. Second, in India, Tarai and Himalaya mountain are found by the sedimentary. Means in India, Tarai region of the India, this rocks is more dominated. And for example, sandstone, limestone, dolomite, shale, these are the different sedimentary rocks. Now you can see the formation of sedimentary rocks, means how the sedimentary rocks are formed. So if you are if you are see this reaction, so it is beginning from the igneous rocks, then sedimented, and then, so here the sedimentary rocks are the product of weathering of the pre-existing rocks, that is known as the igneous rocks, and maybe some other rocks, and then it is transported from, and weather material transported from the one place to another place with the help of different transporting agencies like water, air, temperature, glacier, या foods of the animals, mines, या any type of physical and chemical reaction is also involved to transport the material from the one place to another place. And after that, what happened then? That material is deposited. Here you can see the third reaction is the, that material is deposited, and after that, after deposition means settling down of the particles. So what happened in this case? So first the a large particle is first settled down, and after that medium particle, and the last small particle is settled down. After settle down of the particles, then next stage is the compaction. Yeah, either you can say cementation. So after settling of the particle, then slowly so many gumming material is already present in between this particle, that gumming material is working as a adhesive and cohesive natures. So and then what happens, that after all the particles are cemented, yeah, you can say compacted, and then form the layer wise, then form the layer wise a new product. That product is known as the sedimentary rocks. That product is known as the sedimentary. So by this process the sedimentary rocks is formed. Here you can see the rocks, and this means I am showing this all the process of the sedimentary rocks formation by the reaction way. So first you can see there are the different rocks, and that rocks is weathered, and after the weathering, and what happened, the large particle is converted to the small particle by the different physical chemical agent, and after the converting of the small particle, that particle is known as the sediment. That particle is known as like the sand, silt, clay, yeah, some other. So that particle is known as the sediment. And then what happened, this sediment material is transported from the one place and to deposited in the new place. So that is up. What are the basic agents? Yeah, you can say the agency which is helps to transport the material from the one place to another place. So here you can see there is a different wind, water, yeah, some other glaciers, temperatures, some other agents and foot of the animals, mans also. So there are different agents. By that agents, the material is transported and then it is deposited. You can see here. Then after depositing of that material, so I have already told you that so many gummy material is already present in that rocks and minerals, so that after depositing, then what happened, this material compacted and cemented. What means, then after cementing of that material, then it is converted into the new product, and that product is known as the sedimentary rocks. So that is why one big property of the rocks is that it is found is always in layer wise, yeah, you can say stratified rocks, because the particle is settling by step by step. First the large particle is settled down, because and after that the medium particle, and the last is the small particles. Yeah, either you can say sand, then silt, and then clay particle is settled down, and then that is why. So that, and after that settling particle, it is means cemented and compacted, and then cemented. So that is why it is found in the layer wise rocks. So this is the most important things regarding the means formation of the sedimentary rocks. I am now come to the process of sedimentary rocks formation. So there is a very basic process which is involved to formation of the sedimentary rocks. One is the weathering, second is the transportation, third one is the deposition, and fifth one is the cementation and compaction, and the last one is the means. So these are the four basic process which is involved to formation of the process of the sedimentary rocks formation. Here you can see the sedimentary rocks, the most important geological process that leads to the creation of sedimentary rocks are weathering, transportation, depot. Here you can say weathering, transportation, deposition, and then precipitation, yeah, you can say cementation. So these are the process of what is the means what is the geological process. So generally the geological process explain the means of such as a process which is types of the rocks mainly in the same transformation in the geological times. So that is known as the geological process, and the rocks of type can be converted into other type. Mean any rocks and minerals which is converted into the in other types of rocks and minerals. So that is known as the geological process. This is the important process of the. Now come to the transportation, and sometimes it is also known as the diagenesis. First one is the weathering, second is the transportation, either diagenesis. So what is this? This is the disintegrated material is transported. I have already told you that the disintegrated material, either you can say small particle material, is transported from the one place to another place with the help of different agencies like the water, temperature, glaciers, foot of the animals, mans, if they are their foot, the particles are absorbed on their foot and they then transfer from the one place to another place. So these are the, so that is known as transportation. And third process is known as the deposition. What happened after uh, actually, suppose that you are throw any stone in upper side of the then what happened, the particles go in the upper side, and after that, after some time the particle again return to the ground. So this is due to the reason of gravity force. So in the same way, if the particle is transported from the, for example, water is the major agent which is helps to transfer the material. So whenever the rainfall is very fast, a high rainfall, then the particle is very fastly transfer, cutting and transfer from the one place. And after that, what happens, for example, if the rainfall is stopped and after the speed of the running water slowly decreases, then the settling of the particle will be started. So in the same way, the some gravitational force is also working to settling of the particle. If the force is stopped, then particle is settled down, and if the force is active, then particle is a movement. So I am in the same way, the water is, the speed of the running water is decreasing slowly after stopping the rainfall. Then speed of the particle is also decreasing, and sometimes after sometimes the completely. So in that case, what happened, the large particle first settle down, and then in medium particle, then small particle is settled down. And then cementation means conversion of that material into the hard forms. So that is known as the cementation. Now how it is converted, because I have already told you, so many gummy material is already present in the rock and minerals. After contact of the particle with that gummy material, then it is adhesive, and then it is converted into the hard in nature. And come to the classification of sedimentary rocks. So generally the sedimentary rocks is classified into two categories. First is the on the basis of origin and properties. The sedimentary rocks is classified into different categories. Here on the basis of origin, the sedimentary rocks is classified to three categories. First is the mechanically are formed rocks. Yes, sometimes it is also known as the fragmental, classic, dendral rocks, and then biogenic sedimentary rocks, and third is the chemically formed sedimentary rocks. So here mechanically formed sedimentary rocks is means the physical agents which is involved to formation of such types of rocks. So that is known as the mechanically rocks. In case of biogenic sedimentary rocks, so in here so many chemical as well as chemical reaction is involved to formation of this biogenic rocks. And in here chemically, in here the completely chemical reaction is involved to formation of such types of rocks. And in biogenic means some microorganism which is involved to formation of this rock. So this is on the base of origin. This is the three types of sedimentary rock. And now come to the on the basis of origin. This is also divided into. This is the same thing that is means. Actually, the different books I have written the different things, but here I want to show the both things. Both are the same. Here also mechanically, sometimes fragmental, clastic, dendral, and in here chemically formed rocks. And chemically is again divided into two categories. One is the inorganic, another is the organic chemically formed rock. For example, lignite, mold, diatomite, peat. So these are the organic sedimentary rocks, and the inorganic here anhydrite, halite, gypsum. Now you can see in the hilly in the means river areas the gypsum formation, especially in the Rajasthan, halite, sodium chloride. So in that particular region, this types of rocks, sedimentary rocks is formed. Now come to the class size in the clastic rocks. Actually, during the breaking of the materials, so there is a different size of the particles found. What is the basic size of the particles, and if the particle having the separate size, so their name is also different. Here you can see the boulders. Boulders means such types of particle which is having their ranges is about more than 200 millimeter in diameter. Such types of particle is known as the boulders. Gravels, under the gravels there are different four categories: very fine gravels, then porous gravel, medium gravels, and gravels, and then fine gravels. And their size is also given in here. You can see it is beginning from the 60 and last is the 6 mm in diameter. So these clastics should be identifiable, means you can identify your naked eye, there is no problems. And so there is a, and if the particle size having these means this like this form in the size, so it is known as the gravel. And then sand. So sand is also divided into three categories: porous, medium, and fine sand. Porous sand is having the size is 0.6 to 2 millimeter in the class, visible to the naked eye, grains from the identifiable. And the last is the mud. So it either you can say clay. So this is having the size is less than 0.02 millimeter. So we are unable to identify our naked eye. And but these things means sand, gravels, and boulders. These are three particles you can see in your naked eye. There is no problem. If you have the experience about that, then you can easily identify through your naked eye. But in case of the clay, yeah, mud, so it is required some microscopes after that you can identify. Otherwise it is very difficult to identify of these particles. And now come to the, on the basis of properties, the sedimentary rocks is divided into the means two categories. One is transported mechanically and deposited. Second is the transported in solution and precipitation. Up here you can say the and this is again divided into arenaceous and argillaceous. So this is the two again types. And for example, in case of arenaceous, the calcium carbonate dominated sedimentary rocks. For example, the limestone, sandstone. These are the, and in here in argillaceous, in that case mostly the silica dominated sedimentary rocks is found. Either you can say the sodium or some other dominated rock, element dominated rocks is, for example, pipe clay, kaolinite. These are the, and here transported in the solution and precipitation. So it is organic and inorganic. In case of in chemically precipitated, so chalk and gypsum, and then organically the peat and marble. So this is about uh, and after that come to the, you can see here these are some example I have shown to you. For example, this is the another rocks that is known as a hand, that is known as the breccia. So you can, the texture of this rocks is clastic, a porous grain, size is 2 millimeter, hardness is variable, color is variable, class is variable, and it is also used to decoration of the walls and floors. Such types of sedimentary rocks you can use. So this is some example of sedimentary rocks. Here is also you can see, and these are the some references. I have taken all these resources from these references, and thank you.